Elon Musk released new messages about Charlie Kirk and shifted from grief to a directive tone. First, he said Kirk was killed and argued that people on the left celebrated it. Then his post shifted into short, repeated lines that spread quickly across social media. Musk also posted a clear label for those he blamed. He wrote that the left is the party of wrong, using the phrase once, and then returned to short, forceful wording and follow-up posts. At the same time, he reposted his earlier warning that if attackers are not arrested, they will strike again. On his feed, he kept coming back to the word push back. First, the shift was visible in how he used brief phrases. He replied to celebratory or dismissive posts with lines like, "They will come for us," which framed the threat in simple terms. Then he repeated the word pushback several times in the days after the incident. At the same time, Musk attached the message to specific actions. He urged people to support Turning Point USA, and many agreed it was the right way to honor Kirk's legacy. He also wrote that in his words, FEMA execs cheered Charlie's death, reacting to a video of a section chief joking about the tragedy. According to his post, federal behavior and cultural reactions both mattered in his view. Then the message widened into institutional pressure. Musk responded to a video and document release about the suspect by asking, "What is going on here?" and directed that question at Microsoft's leadership. He also reacted to a thread of Blizzard developers mocking Kirk, stating, "These are Microsoft employees." Musk argued that because they worked at Microsoft, it was now a corporate problem. Meanwhile, he pushed on several other fronts at once. He reposted a claim that teachers' unions form one of the pipelines of political radicalization, highlighting Randy Weingarten's roles by name. He also shared a line that the media is shamelessly far left, so everything looks far right to them, using that claim to explain coverage after the tragedy. According to his comments, definitions of left and right had been distorted. Then Musk expanded on those definitions in longer remarks. He said the media now calls centrist or center-left immigration positions far right, which he called false. He added that in his view, far right should be reserved for regimes that want war or oppression, not for basic policy debates. According to him, past speeches by Democratic leaders match positions now labeled extreme. At the same time, he argued there was a broader drift. He said that many governments had moved left while believing they were still centrist, pointing to older remarks by Obama and Hillary Clinton on immigration as evidence. He summed it up as a redefinition of left and right that, in his view, worked like propaganda. First, Musk applied pressure to Microsoft by naming its chief executive directly and citing employee conduct around Kirk's death. He marked videos and comments tied to Blizzard and Activision and said the people involved were Microsoft employees. In his view, it proved the problem wasn't just online, it reached the companies themselves. Then he confronted advocacy statistics head-on. He saw a chart claiming that most extremist violence comes from the right and called the framing misleading, urging the group behind it to look in the mirror. His point was simple but forceful. Labels like these don't solve problems, they twist reality and redirect blame. In this case, Musk argued it was right to call it out. At the same time, he amplified an argument that teachers' unions act as a political pipeline. He reposted a thread saying unions must be called out and emphasized leadership roles within those organizations. He suggested that the pipeline starts before university and that schools are part of the problem. According to him, the path to radicalization does not begin on campus alone. Meanwhile, he shifted from grief to calls for funding. He urged people to support Turning Point USA after Kirk's death and framed it as support for sanity and the future of civilization. He also revisited a short warning about attackers when authorities failed to act and posted it again. According to his feed, the goal was to pair a moral claim with a durable funding target. Then he extended the pressure beyond one institution. He responded to posts from trade groups and commentators and called several statements wrong or false. He accused a federal emergency manager of celebrating the death and criticized advocacy organizations for excusing violence. According to Musk, this showed a culture willing to dismiss or downplay a political tragedy. At the same time, he engaged the media environment around the case. He said a Dutch state broadcaster pushed a huge falsehood about Kirk and criticized a Norwegian outlet for a comparison to a terrorist. He also challenged Stephen King over a claim about stoning, asking why he would post something so blatantly untrue. According to Musk, these messages showed how quickly misleading claims spread after the tragedy. Then came the platform layer. Clips related to the incident spread quickly across platforms, while some lawmakers, including Rep. Luna, asked companies to remove the most graphic content. Other platforms kept a lower profile as investigators cited online radicalization. Observers noted that Musk kept posting non-stop instead of pulling back. What started as shock quickly became pressure on companies, media, and politics. And it's clear his focus now is turning that anger into influence.